Hello everyone, and peace of Christ all of you. Please invite your friends. And today we have an interesting topic again. Now, tomorrow we are going to go live on air. I just hide the other stream so people will not be confused about where we are. But after we finish, it's going to go back, and tomorrow we will be live again. But tomorrow is going to be a comedy, a very, very pure comedy. So if you like to laugh a lot and get fat, join us tomorrow. So the topic today actually about lies shared by all Christian churches with no exception. And it's a big lie. Each time you go to a church, and I'm sure many of you heard this in a church, the priest or the bishop, whoever he is, Catholic or Protestant or Orthodox, he will say to you that the Muslims are from Ishmael and the Arab are from Ishmael. Since I was a kid, I like to ask questions. And I like to know where those people are getting this information from. Can we go and open the Bible and see anywhere it says what they are saying to us? Is it really an assumption or it is a fact? Is it an information which is true, or it is a copy-paste like the Abdul? Or maybe the Abdul, they say that and we say what they say. So what is this about, Ishmael is the father of the Arab? How we can find out if they are telling us the truth or not? And you see, I'm saying they share a lie doesn't make them a liars, because many of them, they share the lie because they are ignorant. And ignorant is a sign of stupidity at the same time. Because if you are a teacher and you specify your study in a book, I cannot say, well, this guy is not a priest, so he is not really knowledgeable about the Bible, right? It's normal. There is a lot of people, they have no idea even what is written there. But to be a priest and to be a donkey, this is a different story. If we ask people here, the word Ishmael, let us go to the Silly Quran, the yellow pages of Muhammad. We will go to the Bible too. If there's any Muslim here in the chat, can tell us what the word Ismail mean, or Ishmael? Any Muhammadan? It's a challenge to tell me what the word mean. See, this is the yellow one. This is the word Ishmael in Arabic. But it's the same as in English, actually. What does the word Ishmael mean? Any Muhammadan? You will notice not a single Abdul in the world, including Muhammad himself, he knew what the word Ishmael mean. This is telling us that first, the name is a foreign word. Do we agree? It is a foreign word. It is not an Arabic word. Because you can tell me your name. Let us say you are from India. You tell me your name, whatever your name is. And then I don't know what's your name mean, because it's a different language, simply. But if it is in my language, I will know what the word mean, because your name means something. Unless you are a Filipinos, and like Filipinos, they create different names, like they fix, they bring they buy iPad, and then they get a camera, so they call their son a Sony iPad. Why? Don't ask me. Ask the Filipinos. 90% of them do not know what their names mean. So praise be to Allah, okay, blah, 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 blah. In my old age, Ishmael and Isaac. Why Abraham, he called his son Ishmael? Because simply Abraham, he believed in God, and that God is El. El is a word meaning God. It's not really a name. But that will have an impact in understanding later what we are talking about. If you go and read the whole Quran, you will not find one place anyone, any Muslim can tell us who is this eel. And what eel mean? This is why they do not know what Ishmael mean. But if we go in the Bible, we will find eel all over, in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, it doesn't matter. Everything belongs to eel. But this is in the Bible. What about the Quran? The Quran, because it's made by a fool, he copied the names as they are. If you remember, that in one of his debates was making fun of a Christian person debating him. He said, "Your God, he wrestled with God. Sorry, Jacob, he wrestled with God." But if we go in the Quran, we will find that the Quran accepts the story. But because the Quran is made by a fool, that he could not get it. He's just an idiot like the rest. The second you accept that the name of Jacob became Israel, that means you accept that God and Israel, or the angel of God, whatever it is, was wrestling with Jacob. So you ask the Muslim, okay, who is Israel? They will say to you, this is Jacob. Okay, how we know that this is Jacob? I challenge any Abdul who is listening to us right now to tell us where you get this information that this is Jacob. Nowhere in the Quran it says how this Jacob became Israel. But because Muhammad is just a fraud, he copied the name from the Jews, but you do not know what the name means. By copying the name, you accept the meaning. By accepting the meaning, you accept the story. Because the name is changed for a reason, and the name speaks of the story. And that's why I say not everybody is good in debating. When you want to debate a religion, you have to know the other religion before you know your own. Because knowing your own alone is not enough. So if I was there and did that start laughing at this, I will whip the floor with him, and everybody will laugh at him, because the Quran accepts the story. So when the Quran copy names, he copy the value of the names. He copied the story behind the names. We go back to Ishmael. Muslims, what Ishmael mean? Isn't it funny that your Quran have time to tell us about the ant speaking to the ant, and Suleiman, he heard the ant? Isn't it funny that the Quran have time and your God have time to tell us about the guy, his name is Suleiman, he died standing for a year and nobody noticed? Isn't it funny that we have a story about 3 or 4 or 5, even your God Allah do not know how many they are in the cave, and they slept for more than 300 years? What does this have to do with us? And how come here we do not know who is, what happened? What happened? What happened? Why this man, his father called him Ishmael? We don't know. They have no idea. If we go in the Bible, as usual, the Bible gives us, stories and details. And then he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. Very clear. Now, if Ishmael, he married an Egyptian, and his mother is an Egyptian, I mean, the guy almost became like 75%, I mean, his children's, they are now 75% Egyptian. Maybe 30% because the grandfather is an Aramic. So how Ishmael became the father of the Arab? Same time, some foolish might say to you now, well, Ishmael is the father of the Egyptian. That is stupid to say, because he married from the Egyptians, so how he can be their father? If I go now to Taiwan and I marry a woman from Taiwan, I am the father of the Chinese? So here we see how ignorance works and how Christians or Christian priests, they support the propaganda of the Muhammadan when they say that Ishmael was, or the Arab are from Ishmael. First, the Arab are not even an ethnic. Arab is an Aramaic word, mean those who live in the desert. Whoever live in the desert, if you live in Las Vegas right now, for the Aramaic, you're an Arab. If you live in Arizona, you're an Arab. Arab is a word mean desert. If you go in the city Quran, and we type the word Arab, which means coming from the Arab. Who is this Arab? What does that mean? What does exactly mean? What do you say? Right away, a Muslim, he will say to you, well, the Arab, okay, that's good. But those, why they are called this way? I mean, why they are called Arab? You will see, it says the wandering Arab. This is one of the translation, but in reality, it is the Bedouin. Who? The Bedouin. So who's the Arab? Is the Bedouin, whoever live in a tent in the desert. He is an Arab. It's not even a language. So today we say Arabic language. There's no Arabic language. Arabic language is collection of languages. Have nothing to do really with a nation language. If you change the translator, this is Biktal. Let us choose another idiot. Hilali and Khan, Muhammad Hilali. Okay. Do you see the word Bedouin? The word Bedouin replaced what? Replaced the word Arab. Arab. Do you see it? This is the word in Arabic for those who speak Arabic. Min al-Arabi. And this is a word mentioned many times in the Quran. So the Arab is people who they are Bedouin and they have no ethnic anyone. And actually based on this, when Abraham he lived in the tent, he was an Arab too. You know what I mean? It's not an ethnic. If you're an Ethiopian, you live in a tent, you are an Arab too. If you are an, you know, whatever who you are, you know, if your life is based not like doing camping, you know, it's like somebody going camping now and he will say to me, oh, I'm an Arab now. No. Those are people, their life based on living in a desert. They have to be in the desert. And based on living in a tent, they have their, you know, animals move from place to place, seeking the grass, seeking green. So when the green die here because of the desert, they go, they take their cattle and go to different place, finding another place where it is a green. So even the language in Arabic confirm that the Arab is whoever live in the desert. Then if we ask ourselves more questions, you know, because always the questions can lead us to information. If you don't ask questions, you need to ask even yourself sometime. Because this is how you start searching. I want to find this. I want to find that. If we know everything, we do not need to ask questions, right? Because we know it. So if we ask ourselves another question, okay, the Arab obviously mean the Bedouin, who is wandering around, who live in the desert. And Muhammad is one of them. By the time those Arab, they start having towns, you know, they live in houses, but all their life they used to be in the desert. If they find like a spring of water which is fixed, let us say, can give them always water, which is rare to find, that will make them change their lifestyle from Bedouin Arab, who they are living in the desert in tent, to be an Arab who live in a house. If we ask the Muslims, can you give us the names of the sons of Ishmael? The Muslims, they have names for them. Don't tell me, don't ask them where you get the names from. I mean, this religion is very funny. But if you read the names the Muslims they provide you, you will see none of those names are Arabic names. Okay. How come he is? And not only that, they say to you that the first one who speak Arabic is Ishmael. This is a very mad religion. How he is the first Arab and he married from the Arab? So the people who married from, according to you Muslims, they don't speak a language before him? They were mute? They were a bunch of dummies? They use their fingers to talk? So obviously Ishmael had nothing to do with the Arab. And we have even more proofs that the story of Ishmael went to Arabia. By the way, Ishmael went to Arabia. As we said, Arabia is a desert. Doesn't mean he went to Mecca. Because obviously he married from where he went to. So here it says that he went to the wilderness of Paran. And you can search it in Google right now and you'll find where is that located. And you will find this has nothing to do with Mecca. It's far away from Mecca. And you will find that he married an Egyptian woman. So obviously he is in a place where it is occupied by Egyptian. That make it land of Egypt still. And then whatever children will have after that, they are going to be descendant from the Egyptian man and the Egyptian women, and they will carry the same language, whatever language they are speaking. And obviously the guy, he grew up with his mother, and his mother, she is Egyptian. So what the language they will be talking or using? Let us say most of the time, because Abraham was not Egyptian himself. So obviously whoever came from Ishmael, because he is a child of an Egyptian woman and he is married to an Egyptian woman, his children will speak Egyptian, and Egyptian is not Arabic. There's many naive now, they will say, well, Egypt, isn't it the Arab Republic of Egypt? This is after the occupation of Islam. None of those are none of those are Arab. Even the Muslims, they agree that 4,000 Muslims only came to Egypt, Muslim Arab. At that time, Egypt was 4 million African. So can you believe that 4,000 Arab, they will make the 4 million Arab? That is a joke, right? So, and does not mean in the same time that Ishmael is the father of all Egyptian, because he just married, he is a son of an Egyptian, and he married from Egyptian. Egyptians exist long before him. So he cannot be the father of the Egyptian. But we can say, from the Egyptian, there is some, they are from the seed of Ishmael. But not all the Egyptians are the sons of Ishmael. If we go back to the Quran and try to understand more about what happened to Ishmael. The Muslim says that Abraham and Ishmael is the one who built the Kaaba. But the Muslims agree too that this Kaaba was exist really before Abraham. Even they say that the first one who built the Kaaba, it was the angels, and Adam, who Allah, he sent him down to Sri Lanka, he did Hajj 40 times, all the way from Sri Lanka. Don't ask me how, because Sri Lanka is an island. It's not even connected to India. So Allah, he sent him down to Sri Lanka, and you can search right now in Google. You will find even the Muslims are fighting over a temple which is owned by the Buddhists. They want to take it because they have the footstep of Adam, because this is where Adam he landed when he came with the parachute. So Adam was sent to Sri Lanka, and then Allah, he told Adam to go and do Hajj, to visit the Kaaba, and 40,000 angels were waiting for him, and he did 40 times Hajj. Okay, the story makes sense, a lot of sense. So the Kaaba is built by Adam. So what Abraham is doing now? They will say to you that when the flood of Noah happened, the Kaaba of Allah destroyed. And then there's a mountain next to Mecca, or in Mecca, sorry, swallow the black stone and save it. And when the flood is over, he spit it out. This is why here it says, supposedly, now remember when Abraham and his son were raising the foundation, not putting the foundation of the house. Rising. So like there is something left. So they are raising the foundation of the Kaaba. Okay, we will go with this, no problem. So based on this, the one who built the Kaaba or rebuilt the Kaaba is Abraham. Let us go to the different verse in the Quran and start laughing. If we ask Muslims, and I would like to see their answer in the chat, do you agree that Abraham, he came to the Kaaba? He is the one who built the Kaaba or rebuilt the Kaaba? Anyone, any Muhammadan here? Any Muhammadan? I'm not going to wait for their answer. They will say to you, yes, we agree with the Quran that Allah, he sent Abraham, and Abraham was a messenger in Islam, remember? And Ishmael was a messenger. But hold on, how that will work now? Read with me this verse. How we can explain this verse? Any Muslim can explain it? Did Allah send the messengers before Muhammad to Mecca? Any Muhammadan? How you say that Abraham and Ishmael, they were in Mecca and they are the one who rebuilt the Kaaba and they were warning people about worshiping God, and then you say that those people who live there, they never had before anyone to warn them? Isn't it you Muslims believe that Allah, he gave Abraham a book? And as usual, when we say something, we have to support it. Chapter 87, verse 19. So Abraham, according to Islam, he had a book. You see it? So how none of those who live in Mecca, they receive before books or a warner? Do we have any Abdul here? Abraham, he have a book according to the Quran. Moses have a book according to the Quran. But Abraham is a person who went according to the Quran. He went to Mecca. And when you say he was a prophet and Ishmael was a prophet to his people, that means he have people. And those people are supposed to be the, don't you Muslim, you say that the descendant of Muhammad is descendant from Ishmael? Well, this is his people then. So if nobody came before that day, that means the story of Abraham going to Mecca and rebuilding the Kaaba is a fraud. right? I'm going to open my Skype. Give me a second. So in case there is any Muhammadan would like to give us an answer, he can share with us his special education, which is very high usually. Okay. All right, guys, we lost connection for a second or few seconds. It's all right. We're back. So do we have any Muslim would like to text me so he can answer us about such a stupid contradiction in the Quran? How Allah never sent a warner to Mecca, to the Arab, and Ishmael is the father of the Arab, according to you? If Allah never sent a warner, neither scriptures, that means Abraham was not there, Ishmael was not there, and nobody spoke about the true God, which is supposedly in your religion, Allah. If Muhammad is the first warner, that means there's nobody there before him, ever. To warn people about worshipping so-called God, Allah. Somebody is challenging me, text me so I will call you. Challenging me in what? How many potato you can eat a second? You want to call? Anyone will say stupid words in the chat, I will block you. Like, aren't you daily doing this every day? This is what I like to do. What's your business? You don't like it, don't come here. Don't be silly and don't be like a kid. His diaper is full of poo-poo and coming around with big diaper look funny. If I am not tired from doing this, why you are here? If you are tired of it, don't come here. Are you stupid or what? I mean, what's wrong with people? Don't get married, okay? Honestly, I feel sorry for women, because I find that the most stupid comment ever posted is men comment. I truly feel sorry for them. So my Skype is open. Who is the Abdul would like to text me and I will call you immediately to tell me how such a contradiction, silly contradiction happened. Anyone? Any Muhammadan? Don't ask me a question have nothing to do with the topic now. His Quran is a miracle, this verse. What's wrong? Guys, focus with me, please. What's wrong with you? What kind of battery are you using? Focus, focus. Learn how to focus. We have a topic. I mean, did you ask yourself before you asked me the question, which had nothing to do with the topic, why you are asking the question now? What's wrong with people? Having the chat open is the fastest way to make somebody commit suicide. I mean, look what I'm talking about and look at the question in the chat. Do we have any Muslim have a comment, have an argument, have an answer he would like to present about what we are showing you, which is showing a clear evidence of stupidity in the Quran? Any Muhammadan? So what we see here, that all the story about Abraham going to the Kaaba and Ishmael was there and he married an Arab woman, it's a joke. Because even the Quran confirmed that this is a town, nobody came to it before from God to be a warner or to bring scriptures. Never. And the text is so clear.